Hello, everybody. So I put out stupid texts from musicians a few weeks back, and the one overwhelming comment was, "You spelled the word there wrong." And I'd really like to thank the 8,000 or so people who let me know that I made a typo. Thanks. The world is now a better place because of you. Meanwhile, I got a ton of requests for a second episode. You asked for it, you got it. Okay, before we get started here, I just want to point out that most of these are messages that other engineers have received and have passed along to me. Because this shit's too funny not to share. Like this one.
We're supposed to be recording with Corey right now, but he's slacking because he wants us to pay him.
Yeah, seriously. Fuck you, Corey. How dare you ask for money? You should just consider yourself lucky you even got such an amazing band to even show up to your studio. Speaking of amazing, check out this little back and forth.
Really? A Line 6 pod? Come on, man.
We don't record our stuff using a tube amp because Brandon doesn't have a good mic. Good enough mic.
He has like 4 SM57s. Like, what in the hell?
People do things differently now, asshole. It's not 1989.
Yeah, you're not kidding. It's not 1989. In 1989, singers and drummers actually had to perform on their records because computers weren't advanced enough to fix the dog shit we get today masquerading as music. But you do have a point. Use an SM57 to record guitar? Seriously, what the fuck is this guy thinking? Next up, here's a guy trying to book a session in a studio that's been booked for 3 months in advance.
Let's wrap it tomorrow at 10 a.m. and give me the address you want your V25% to. The 7th grade brain wants to get in the freaking game. Please, it's going to Capitol Records 2 in La at A and R rep desk. I'm quick like that. We have a real property with that.
I don't even know what to say to that one. Do these guys even try to make sense out of their syntax before writing it down?
Brad is doing self-production now, and I was just curious if he could send the sounds. So rather than just using stock Superior drum kits, actual sounds from the kit I used would be accessible. If it's not cool, but it was something I wondered about.
Honestly, I don't really feel comfortable just giving away mixed drum sounds so people don't have to hire us to produce their material. In a world of laptop producers, I would prefer to retain our ability to record and mix real drums, and get paid to do so. Otherwise, I'm basically digging my own grave and rendering my career useless. We've considered selling drum sample packages to stay viable in an ever-changing industry, but just helping other people mix their material for free doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Dude, I share your pain. I've had this type of client come up before. You know, they book session time, then cancel at the last minute, only to hit you up with, "Well, I still want to come in, but I'm not going to pay you. You can just show me how to do it." Yeah, that's my favorite type of client.
Would it be impolite or unprofessional if I brought some beer to pass the time while these idiots jam and I do nothing?
Now this is rare, a considerate musician. Generally, if I want someone to sit in my studio all day and do absolutely nothing, I'll tell the band to bring their girlfriends in. But the fact you even asked is great. You're welcome at my studio anytime.
Just a question on EQ. My mixes sound alright, I guess, but I'm still not good in my opinion, maybe. I feel like it's because I'm not EQing everything I should be. I'm using Chango MMF processed sample drums through Contact. Do I need to make a multi-channel routing into my DAW and actually apply EQ to cut out frequencies, or is the sample drums already fine and need no EQ to work good in the mix?
Yeah, I suppose going to recording school and learning how to record real drums is out of the question. But what do I know? This guy will probably make a record that sells millions.
I think it's pretty shitty that this guy talks shit about me when I'm not around. But hey, haters gonna hate, bitches gonna lactate.
All I said that during the recording process, I was told by the individual who recorded you last that things were pitchy and extra time taken to get things spot on afterwards, which is totally fine. A lot of people are. I never said anything about not liking you, called you names, or anything about you as a person. Yet the additional work was not discussed ahead of time and they were on a time crunch. If they bought more than 3 days of tracking, it would have been a completely different story. I personally took the time to clean up everything in the track. Everything was spot on and perfect, yet the band decided afterwards it wasn't the right fit for that song. Honestly, if you were to be featured, I would have suggested one of their heavier songs.
Dude, I think you're a fucking prick. And honestly, I really don't want to have any more extensive conversation about it. All I just want is you to know that I think you're a massive fucking prick, and I don't like you. That's all.
Thanks for expressing your opinion. I've had only respect for you until that message. Enjoy.
I really sympathize with the engineer here. It doesn't matter how hard you try to reason with some musicians. They'll just hate your guts because they want to. It doesn't matter how hard you try, nothing's ever good enough, and explaining things won't do any good. So hey man, to you, I'll quote the wisdom of Winston Churchill. You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something, sometime in your life. I'm gonna guess it was sometime on that project. And speaking of projects, check out this conversation with a rapper who wanted to record a 15-song album with mixing and mastering.
But what were you looking to spend?
I don't know, man. Like a stack.
Yeah, what the hell is a stack? A stack of ones? 20s? Hundreds? Pancakes? You know, I thought rap guys were supposed to be able to articulate. And the thing they never explain about rap videos is that most of the cars and jewelry are rented.
I'll pitch you one of mine, but they're kind of hard to if you're up for it. I have no clue what you're asking for. I don't know, I trade you one of mine to mix and I'll mix one of yours, friendly fun. What the fuck was that? You offered me a test before you hired Fuckface. I don't know, some rappers and shit.
Yeah, but the test I was gonna give was a test for editing guitar DIs to a grid, not you mixing a song that I recorded.
Cool guys, but got to keep that genre flow open, so give Bean work with a lot. I'm awesome at grid work, that more engineering talk.
I don't even know what to say to that one, other than I'd never want anything edited by someone so illiterate. And when you're not dealing with the illiterate, you're dealing with incredible time management skills like this.
Well, I can't wait that long. I got someone else to help me.
Saturday, I'm good. I mean, if you don't want the quality product I can give you, you can go somewhere else. I'm off Saturday and Thursday next week. I'm not gonna be in town Friday.
So you can't do it this Saturday?
I can Saturday. Friday, I'm doing something for my little brother's school.
Hey, something just came up and we'll have to make it another time, dude.
Sure.
Yeah, those are my second favorite clients. The ones that bust your balls to book a session and then don't show up. And I'd like to report that the first stupid text video is having a bit of an impact. Check this one out.
Glenn Fricker, you've struck fear in the hearts of bands with your stupid things bands guys say video. Had a dude from a band blow up on me this morning. Just called me to apologize and asked me not to put him on blast to you.
That kind of made my day. Be nice to your engineer kids, or they'll send me your dumbass texts, and I'll make you famous. Speaking of dumbasses, I've saved the best for last. This one's fairly long, and it's totally amazing. It's a great example of why you should proceed with caution when recruiting potential band members from Craigslist.
What kind of band are you looking to join? Like just for fun on the weekends or going for a career?
I think we already talked before, but I forgot to email you back. LOL. I'm down to take a band as far as it'll go. If it winds up being something that blows up and we go out on the road, that'd be great. But I'm also down to just play around town and stuff.
Okay, so what kind of equipment do you have? I'm not necessarily looking for a $10,000 rig, but don't be that guy who plugs in his starter Squier guitar directly into a Line 6 30-watt amp. Also, what are your major influences?
I have an Epiphone SG and a Line 6 Pocket Pod direct-in interface. Why don't you go find someone with fancy gear and go fuck yourself? Oh, and by the way, female-fronted metal bands are trend-hopping poser faggots, so have fun sucking the record executives' collective chodes. I bet I could shred your ass from here to Hong Kong with my starter guitar and Line 6 shit. Just because someone doesn't have hundreds of dollars to blow on music equipment doesn't mean they're not good, douchebag.
Wow, holy shit. Maybe I would have been okay with the Pocket Pod going direct. I said I didn't want someone who was going to try use a 30-watt amp to try to play loud enough to be heard while playing with a whole band where there's guitarists and bassists with stacks. I could care less if you could out-shred me. If you can, then la-di-fucking-da, good for you. And when did I say female-fronted? Why don't you go find some people that can deal with your shitty attitude and go fuck yourself?
You should totally stick your nice gear right up your asshole. I bet it would fit nicely in that gaping crevice you call a butt crack. And I remember the type of bands you mentioned being into. It's poser shit. Maybe if you actually were good enough to play fast, you would be in a thrash, black, or death metal band, but instead you suck, LOL. Oh, and by the way, anyone who actually needs to switch over to a clean tone in the middle of a song is not fucking metal. Gotta make sure you can clean up the guitar tone for the faggy melodic chorus to be totally scene-core and gay.
Oh, I get it. You're one of those thrash, death metal elitists who calls anything you don't like to be gay, not metal, poser, sellout, talentless, any other generic term. You, sir, are the reason the metal community gets no respect. And BTW, all the bands you listen to have nice-ass equipment. Have a good day.
You see, actually, I like all kinds of metal, but it's obvious you just can't play speed metal, so your butt hurt, LOL. Oh, and all those bands have really nice equipment now. But if you knew fuck all about how metal works, you know that they only have such nice gear after years upon years of being an active band. Every single one of those bands started out with crappy starter guitars and cheap-ass PV and Line 6 amps. And guess what? They still sound heavy as fuck, way heavier than your poser ass ever will be. Watch old live Autopsy footage and that dude playing a fucking knockoff Japanese Strat copy and a solid-state PVM, but they sound like Autopsy. Gear doesn't make you sound good. Your playing does, fagotronic ass licker. I bet you can't even tremolo pick.
Talk about a slight fucking overreaction. Ask a kid if you could hear his amp over the drums and you get this insane homophobic rant. Hopefully his head exploded when he learned they just legalized gay marriage in the US. All right, that wraps it up for this one. If you're an engineer and have some text you'd love to share with the world, hit me up at the Spectre Media Facebook page. You can also get this really awesome t-shirt that's guaranteed to piss off your singer at the SpectreMedia.ca shop. The link is in the description below. I'm out of here.